Hello. So good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, good early afternoon, good evening to Jebelson and those on the other side of the world. Welcome and thank you for joining us in this session, which I can assure you is going to be an interesting session. So please stay with us to the end if you're able to. So this consultation builds on the expert briefing that we held on the 5th of May, and many of you may have already received the recording for
Excellent.
that. Can you hear us? Okay. And it involves dedicated breakout sessions where we're going to be speaking in a bit more detail on the implementation of the Pact for the Future, the ongoing UN process, and the future of multilateralism, including the ongoing SG selection of the Secretary General of the UN, and of course, the post 2030 agenda. So the discussions will be guided to a great extent, and we hope that we can build a coherent and informed vision for the future of the UN with the voice of Africa firmly in place. We are also hoping that we can consolidate the breadth of civil society voices and perspectives from across Africa within the written contributions that have been shared out. The link to the written contributions have been shared out, and we hope to have a very strong regional statement that will feed into the global statement and will be delivered at the Global Futures Forum that will be held in July on the margins of the high-level political forum. So I'm not going to take us through the guiding questions because those go into the detail of the discussions. And we have just about 90 minutes, and not that is, sorry, that is hardly adequate time, and we will try and make the best of it. So we are waiting on our keynote speaker to join, and he should be joining us he's in the meeting already. So it will be uh, just to take us through the run of show. Like I said, it will be 90 minutes. We'll have this plenary session for about 20 minutes, go into breakouts for 25 minutes and come back for the report back, 8 minutes, and then go back to the breakout session part two, come back into plenary for the report back, and then we will close the session. So without further ado, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Laxmana Kiptoo, who is the Director General of the Public Benefits Organizations Regulatory Authority in Kenya. I'm not going to read you his bio. I'd invite you to look him up, but I'm to say, because I'd like to save us some time, but I'd like to say that he has done an amazing job in putting the Public Benefits Organizations Regulatory Authority together, but also in ensuring that the Public Benefits Organizations Act that was announced, or rather, that was the implementation of which was announced at the UN Civil Society Conference in 2024, comes into being. But more importantly, that he has involved civil society, the public participation around that act has been amazing. And that is what we want to learn from, because we want the voices of all concerned to come into the implementation of the pact. The PBO Act is almost a first of its kind in Africa, and so there's a lot of benchmarking that can be done from the experience of Dr. Kiptoo, who I'm very happy to also say has become a friend through the collaboration that we have been doing with the SDGs Kenya Forum in particular, and bringing civil society together. So Dr. Laxmana Kiptoo, you have 10 minutes. Please speak to us. Dr. Kiptoo, can you hear us? You're unmuted. Please go right ahead.
Carol, if you can briefly mention about interpretation.
Thank you, Jebelson, for that. Yes, this meeting is in English and French. Please tap into the icon written interpretation on the ribbon at the bottom. It's the icon of a globe, and you can then choose English or French. And we have this going on simultaneously. Thanks for that reminder, Jebelson. So, Dr. Kiptoo, you have the floor. I'm not hearing you if you're speaking. He seems to have dropped. He was in a short while ago. Let's give him a minute or two to try and get back. I'll also try and reach out to him because indeed he was in. Okay, I'm not seeing him back in. And unfortunately, the way the program is arranged, we cannot move to the next part of the program because that will mean going into the breakout group. So just allow us a bit of time to get him back on. He's writing something, so let's see what he says. Oh, he's here. So Dr. Laxmana, please go ahead.
Can you hear me now? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible, but
Thank
we
you.
can't
Thank you.
see you.
Okay. You'd want to see me? Okay.
Yes, we'd like to see you.
Great.
Now we can see you.
Okay. Thank you, Carol, for the kind words that you have said about me. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you very much for the opportunity. I would also want to stand on all the protocols as established. And so to the conveners of the African Futures Forum and the Coalition for the UN, we need, and all the civil society groups here, I want to thank you for this opportunity to invite me to speak about the Public Benefit Organizations Regulatory Authority, which in Kenya is the body entrusted to register and regulate the humanitarian actions, including the civil society actions in the country. And indeed, just to appreciate the role of the civil societies in our country, Kenya, what they do in terms of their advocacy and agitation for good governance and accountability. The Public Benefits Organization Regulatory is a state corporation in Kenya established under the Section 34 of the Public Benefit Organization Act of 2013. And I must say, it was as a result of agitation and huge contribution by the civil society groups and the NGOs in the country. And this act was operationalized with effective May 14 of 2024, which repealing the NGOs Coordination Act number 19 of 1990, then setting the stage for an expanded and inclusive regulatory framework for all non-profit organizations in Kenya. Now, the authority, which was formerly the NGOs Coordination Board, is broadly responsible for registration and regulation of all the BPOs operating in the country, including the international ones, and also all BPOs operating in Kenya and overseeing the region. It's important to mention here that this act was in abeyance for a very long time, and it was operationalized during the UN Civil Society Conference 2024 in Nairobi, Kenya, which to us in the country is an important milestone in the journey towards the adoption of the Pact for the Future. And so Kenya civil society actors joined the civil society groups and around the globe in this conference to speak to the co-facilitators of the Pact for the Future and its two annexures and bring their recommendations for this important development blueprint, which we are discussing now. The public benefits organizations in the country is critical in providing the space for CSO actors to continue engaging in the implementation of the Pact for the Future, even as we pursue the development aspirations contained in the 2030 agenda. And just to speak briefly now, so we have since then, when the Act was operationalized, together with the civil society groups, we developed the regulations which goes hand in hand with the Act, and they were gazetted on 18th of March 2026. And we are now in full realization and operationalization of the Act. So on About Africa Futures Forum, PBORA is pleased to engage in the Africa Futures Forum and will continue to support the processes leading to the Global Futures Forum in July 2026. In reflecting on the 4 objectives of the Africa Futures Forum, the following issues stand out for us. Number 1, as noted above, the implementation of the Pact for the Future remains of key interest to civil societies in Africa. PBORA has continued to work closely with the SDGs Kenya Forum and the Center for Global South Initiatives in Development, 2 of the conveners of the Africa Futures Forum, to ensure the voice and input of civil societies actors in Kenya is included in the global development agenda. Also, the Pact for the Future, in its 5 chapters, addresses issues of key interest to Kenya and Africa at large. As a youthful continent, we are particularly keen to ensure that the interests of the youth are safeguarded, as they are not only the present but the future on which the hopes and aspirations of the continent stand. All the other issues covered in the Pact, from strengthening multilateral cooperation to international peace and security, to advancing science, technology, and digital cooperation, all resonate deeply with the civil society actors under the ambit of PBORA. The political rearrangements globally have also changed how civil societies engages in the development and humanitarian spaces. And for this reason, number 1, governments are struggling under the weight of the global economic challenges. We've seen the challenges, the fuel challenges and other challenges, that the shrinking funding sector. The global challenges, including the ongoing wars and the effects of climate change, have resulted in increased citizen poverty in Africa, and also we can say even globally. Hence, the civil society has stepped up its role in community engagements in mitigating these economic challenges. PBORA, in ensuring the implementation of the PBO Act, has provided space for civil society to engage in ways that are meaningful and accountable while practicing self-regulation, which the Act provides for. And we champion ourselves as enablers of the civil society space in Kenya, and we hope that we will be champions of the same in Africa and the region. The implementation of the PBO Act in Kenya is a good model that should also be replicated in the region and across the global majority, where the civil society and the BBOs work hand in hand in government as partners and as collaborators. The strategies for further engagement must involve greater collaboration among civil society actors, the national, regional, and at the international levels. Further, greater South-to-South collaboration must be encouraged. The issues that affect civil society in the global majority are fundamentally similar. Increased collaboration then becomes the means that resources are shared, and this serves to counter the economic challenges noted above. Therefore, as we move forward towards the Global Futures Forum, we will remain available ourselves to collaborate with the conveners of this forum in ensuring that civil society can effectively support the implementation for the Pact for the future. Thank you very much for listening to me. I'll be available to questions in regard to what PBORA does in Kenya and how we work closely and collaboratively with the civil societies in the Kenya. Thank you very much. Back to you, Carol.
Thank you very much, Dr. Laxmana, for raising several important issues and for giving us quite a clear a brief of recommendations on what we need to move for to take this forward. I particularly like what you said, that as a youthful continent, we want to ensure that the interests of the youth are safeguarded. But you've said that youth are not only the present, but they are also the future. I like that, and I will pick that as a buzz phrase to take forward. So I'm going to just give an opportunity for 2 interactions with your keynote address. If you'd like to interact with this by way of a question or a comment, please raise your hand, and we will be able to take that very quickly before we move on. And we've got some good feedback on the chat, great presentation, and we've also been seeing the acknowledgement as you've been speaking. So if anyone would like to interact with Dr. Laxmana, please raise your hand. Going once, going twice, and Florence and Smith. I was just about to knock the gavel. Florence, please.
Thank you so much, Carol. Thank you, Dr. Laxman. I hope you can hear me. Please
Yes,
confirm
I
if
can
you
hear
can
you.
hear me. Oh, thank you.
Yes, I can
So
hear you.
mine is just to appreciate you, Dr. Laxman, for the great, work and encouragement that you've given to civil society in Kenya, and also the success story of
Florence, you're frozen, or is it only on my end?
Yes, she's
Can we?
frozen.
Oh,
She's
okay.
frozen.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Florence. Maybe Smith, you could take your question or comment, and then we'll come back to Florence.
Oh, thank you, Ma. And great position, Dr. Lasma. So my question is this: I like what you said about what the CSOs are doing across board. My question is, recently, if you look at the dimension of the CSOs, the civic space seems to be shrinking, like it's closing up. The spaces and policymakers, government across the continent, even globally, they don't give the civil society that space to even come up to suggest to function in their best capacity. So the space is closing up like daily, right? So what is the way forward? How do we manage that, knowing the importance, the role, the vital role CSOs play to shape the African continent? So how do we make them to become stronger and even more relevant? Because this is the space is being closing up. Like that's my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Laxmana. Briefly.
Thank you very much. We grappled with this question with sometimes with other people. That can be an assertion that it's shrinking in other areas. But for us in Kenya in particular, that space has not been shrunk because we've got freedom of speech, freedom of association, and we've created spaces where government collaborate together with the civil society. What I want to ask the civil societies is, they criticize the government when provide alternatives. It is very important sometimes to point out that we've got a problem here, but these things could be better in this way or another way. So, and the fight continues. We will not say that we've reached there because there are still very many things in Africa that we would want to see be done. And from the government side, we need to be accommodative and collaborative and to open the space. And we create that platform. We create an enabling environment for the civil society to thrive. And that is what here in Kenya we do. We work together with the civil society, the SDG group in Kenya. And Caro can bear me witness with Florence that there are hardly any issue that we bring forward without consultation and collaborating together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Laxmana.